Sway in the morning, Shade 45. Make sure to let Heather B come in when she comes in. You know, not that long ago, we had the group BrockHampton in here.
Yes.
Who likes to be referred to as a boy band. We had all the members of the group here, and we had a really great conversation. I really enjoyed BrockHampton's music. My daughter was the first person to put me on the BrockHampton and the Saturation series, all these different projects that they've put out. And as individuals, they're standalone artists. All of them have a great background. All of them are creative. All of them have their own quirks in a good way that make them who they are. The star was steadily rising at one point, and it still continues to rise. But it caught a glitch sometime in 2018, I want to say it was, in May of 2018.
I'm bad with dates. So
okay.
Probably said 2017.
2017?
2017, yeah.
2017. And I remember this article that came out, I want to say with Pitchfork.
Yeah, I believe so.
It was Pitchfork, and it talked about some accusations that was made about one of the members of BrockHampton, Ameer Vann, who's with us today. And in those accusations, it went on to detail claims of sexual misconduct, abuse, manipulation mentally and emotionally. I know two women that were named on these accusations. One was named Shauna Berry, and another one was named Rhett Rowan, both of which said that they at one point was involved in a relationship with Ameer Vann. And from that, a lot of controversy ensued, and BrockHampton released a statement saying that Ameer would no longer be a member of the band, and haven't talked a whole lot about it. They did come here and had a conversation with us where we kind of touched on it. And I asked them about, hey, man, have you guys even talked to this guy? What is your relationship like now when they came here a few months ago? And Kev Abstract said this.
For me, it just, like what Joba was saying, it gets tied back to brotherhood. And I was just thinking about how do you survive through moments like that? And I feel like it's way different to deal with it, though, when people aren't looking.
Okay. What do you mean?
I mean, we were, like you said, all this hype and energy around BrockHampton. So, like, the way that we handled our situation is definitely going to be way different to, like, how someone would handle it with a family member.
Good point.
What I'm trying to say is I don't have the best advice for that situation.
For
sure.
Do y'all stay in touch with him at all?
Not really.
No?
No, not personally.
I don't.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, got to move on then. And that was their response. They didn't want to get too much into it, but I have yet to hear you speak much on it. At least I haven't been digging,
right.
If you have. But I want to welcome you to this space. I want to welcome you to Sway in the Morning.
Thank
the
you.
one and only Ameer Vann. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. I appreciate you guys having me.
Absolutely. You got a new project called Emmanuel?
Yes, it's called Emmanuel.
That's your middle name?
Yes, it's my middle name. It also means God is with us in Hebrew.
It's
Well, it's my father and I shared middle name.
And your father passed?
Yeah, my father passed away in January of this year. And I thought I wanted to do something as powerful as having the N-word across my chest when I performed at Coachella. And I thought that taking that name would be, one, a way to do that, and two, a way to kind of pay homage to his memory.
Yes. Okay. Let's talk about these accusations. Not even real quick. I want to hear your response to it. Shauna Berry, was that someone you were actually in a relationship with her?
No.
Okay.
Shauna Berry is someone that I hooked up with once, and she just was in our friend group.
Okay.
And so that's someone I knew from being, when I moved out, I was 17 years old. We live in San Marcos, Texas. And that's when I met Shauna along with a few of our other friends, and we hooked up once, and I haven't talked to her in years until now.
Did you see the allegations she made?
Yeah, I saw everything, all the articles and everything that everyone posted, everything everyone had to say. My mother and I saw everything.
She did say that you guys were in a consenting sexual relationship. She consented to be intimate with you, but it got a little extreme. She said you would choke her and bruise her body as a form of sexual interaction, perhaps, that got a little more extreme than she agreed to.
That's not true.
Okay.
Yeah. Our relationship, or the romantic relationship, or the physical relationship that we shared, was completely consented, and everything that we engaged in together was agreed upon.
Okay, this is according to the article in Pitchfork.
Yeah, no,
okay,
I understand.
Okay,
I understand. You're doing your job. Like,
Yeah.
I get it. Our relationship was, or at least the romantic interaction we had, was all consentful. And when these things started to bubble up, I reached out to Rhett and Shauna and like, hey, like, I want to talk to you because I don't feel like we're on the same page. I feel like when we knew each other years ago, everything was fine, and we just kind of went our separate ways, and now things are so different. And I didn't get a response. You know what I mean? So I don't know how she feels or any of that, but I tried. I tried my best to kind of talk and figure out what I did wrong, or what made her feel that way, or to say those things.
Rowan said that you emotionally manipulated her, and she experienced mental abuse. You didn't see it that way.
No, I didn't see it that way.
Okay.
I'll say this. I'm not perfect.
Okay.
I moved out when I was 17 years old. My parents had a toxic marriage, and when I left and I went to San Marcos, I took all of those things from my childhood, and whether I wanted to or not, or whether I knew better or not, I acted those things out in my relationships.
Okay. I
was a young kid still learning how to be a man, and I was already in a position where I needed to act like an adult. You understand what I'm saying? And I can look back and honestly say, all right, yeah, I made mistakes. Yeah, I was manipulative mentally and emotionally. But that doesn't make me a monster. You know what I mean? Like, I've done the work and I've done everything I can to be a better person, to be more understanding and more compassionate, and make sure that all the relationships I cultivate are relationships that can help both of us grow, both people involved. And I didn't have that before. I'm still working on it now. I got a new group of people around me helping me figure those things out.
You have an awesome group of people around you.
Yeah, I do. I really do. Shout out to Adonis and Corey and Theola and Sammy and everybody. Yeah, they really have helped me a lot. Mentorship and friendship and guiding me, not only through my project, but my recovery. You know what I mean? Like, I'm fresh out the hospital, yo. Like, it's been a couple years, and I had to readjust. I had to make new friends. I had to piece my life back together, like from the ground up.
You said you did the work and you're fresh out of the hospital, and I know a little bit about the work you've done. You did a lot of therapy. You did group therapy, which I think. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry to cut you off, but I just want it to be clear. I went back to Texas.
Okay.
To stay with my mother, and me and my mom talked, and just she helped me figure out what got me to this point. You know what I mean? When I first met her, or when I first got back, I apologize. When I first got back, she said, I'm so happy, or I'm so proud that God felt you were strong enough to hold this cross or carry this cross. And I didn't understand what that meant. And it would take maybe a few weeks or a month or so to realize, like, oh, fuck, like, I carried a lot of shit with me all through those years, and I need to fix it right now. Because I wanted to die, yo. Like, I was crushed, like, destroyed. So I realized, like, yo, I'm sick, and I need to go to the hospital. Like, I need to get better. I need to get healthy. And I checked into Bel Air Behavioral Hospital, and the rest is history. I went there.
How long ago was that?
How long ago was that? Maybe like a year and a half now.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And when I went there, I got recommended to go. I got evaluated, and I thought I was gonna have to be inpatient. So I was freaking out. Like, when I went in, they took like my shoelaces and my headphones and my wallet and everything. And like, I'm like, yo, I'm about to get locked up. Like, what is this? And I didn't want to do it. But after I got evaluated, they told me I was going to do outpatient. I was going to be in the hospital 8 hours a day until I got better. There was no end date. First morning I woke up and it was time for me to go. I didn't want to do it. I was like, I'm not about to go to the hospital and finger paint. Yeah. Like, that's not going to solve my problems. But I went, and I realized that every person there was the same as me in one way or another, whether they were an ex-prostitute or ex-crack addict, or they had mental disabilities or physical disabilities. We were all there just trying to figure it out, trying to get back to the real world. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People from all different walks of life. And that changed my life. I didn't want to leave the hospital because of how nice people were. I felt like I was going to come back in the world and people were going to be super cold, which they can be, but I went there to try and be more kind and more compassionate and more understanding, and I think I got that, and I'm building on it. You know?
Is it an ongoing process, though?
Absolutely. It's
every
every day.
It's a life.
It's every single day, because I was also, it was also a rehab, so I was sober for that whole time I was in there.
What were you on? What kind of stuff were you doing?
Marijuana and like hallucinogens. I'll play around, you know what I mean? And I really
do acid and all that stuff. You said it in your lyrics.
Yeah.
I heard the whole project, bro.
Yeah. So that's I had to take that out of my life when I went.
Okay.
And it gave me like clarity, really helped, and I just had to clean out my life. I had to suck the poison out of my life.
You know, this project, Emmanuel, says it all. Says a lot. Doesn't say it all, but it says a lot. And understanding that, I'm not sure what they diagnosed you as.
Major depressive disorder. I never got like an actual diagnosis, but just a major depressive disorder.
Yeah. And knowing this, and we always say hurt people, you know, and knowing this now and having done the work, have you gone back to Shauna and Rhett, or if you could apologize to them for your actions, or take accountability for how it must have made them feel, what would you say? Or would you?
I would,
yeah,
if I could. And I would say, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Like, I mismanaged the relationship. I mismanaged the way I felt and the way I made you feel. And I wish I could take it back. Like, I'm owning the mistakes that I've made. You know what I mean? In the hospital, we learn that the only way to rectify a mistake is to, one, recognize the behavior, two, correct it, and then hold yourself accountable so it doesn't happen again. And that's all I want to do. I just want a chance to say, yo, this is where I went wrong. I hold myself accountable for those mistakes, and I'm going to work every day to make sure that nothing like that happens again.
Would you counsel other men who've made these same mistakes, and what would you say to them?
Yo, I do not have the female experience, so I can't sit here and say yes or no to that question.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I can't do that. You know what I mean? I think that if somebody wants to feel better, somebody wants to do better, give them that chance. But there's only so much you could do. It's so complicated. You know what I mean? Like, there's so much pain involved, and you can't really ask somebody to set that shit aside and just move on, especially if somebody's in the public eye.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I can't answer that.
Okay.
I'm not in a position to answer that.
It's fair. So crazy because Sway and I were talking yesterday, just having a personal conversation, and I was sharing with him some things that I've been through in the past couple years, and I said, with my experiences, I learned now to treat everybody like they're fragile in some area, because I can see it now. Before I couldn't see it because I didn't care.
I completely agree with that. That's the realization I came to. Yeah, absolutely.
So when you recognize it now, do you find that everything you go through, do you recognize that in other people sometimes, where you just, now that you're clear, and it's the word that you use, do you recognize that now in other people? You see how the world can be so mean.
Yeah, I see how the world could be mean, but I also see where I went wrong, like in the mistakes I made.
Yes.
Like, you got to treat people with care. You know what I mean? And because I didn't have a background where I was treated with care all the time, or I saw this, that, and the other living on the South Side, I took that in the world. Like, I took my pain and kind of rolled it over the people I was around.
Yeah.
And like, it's wrong.
A lot of us do that though. You know, that's definitely common, especially in our communities. You know, you see that, man. I think we all need therapy, damn it. In this country. You know, and I feel for those young ladies who went through that experience, and any young lady that goes through that experience. But I also love that you're doing the work, which is important. And that cancel culture is vicious and brutal.
Yeah.
And I don't know how many people gone through it the way you did, so much so that you're no longer a member of a group that you're a founder of.
Yeah.
Yeah. How did you cope with that? Because online, man, they was smashing you, bro.
Okay. How did I deal with it? Well, I found out I wasn't gonna perform. We were doing Boston Calling.
Okay.
And it was cold, it was about to rain, sitting on a tour bus, and like 5 minutes before we performed, like I'm in the bulletproof vest and everything, and they're like, yeah, you're not gonna perform tonight. No, not they. They had John, our day-to-day manager, come and tell me. And so I was like, all right, cool. Like, I just sat in the bus and listened to everybody perform. And then when they got off the bus, we all had a meeting, and it was decided that I needed to take a break.
Okay.
I needed to go home or go to Texas or whatever. And I just kind of felt like, nah, like what, like if I'm gonna leave, it's not gonna be a break. I'm gonna go. You know what I mean? Because we've known each other for 10 years. Like, we lived together when I knew Rhett and when I knew Shauna. So I feel like if anybody should know me, or I should have garnered a little more understanding, it should be from these people. So I was like, fuck it. Like, I just went back home and went and stayed with my mom.
And you haven't spoken to anyone since?
I've talked to Ian.
Okay.
I've talked to John.
All right.
I don't think anybody else, though. Me and Ian have texted pretty recently, and I talked to John pretty regularly. Yeah.
I think that's work. Don't you see that as work that needs to be done, too?
Yeah.
With the group?
Absolutely. But, again, those dudes have known me for 10 years. They all got my phone number. You know what I mean? And I just felt like it's not up to me to make anyone in BH feel better. Because when I had to do my work, it was by myself. It was just me and my mom. You know what I mean? So if they feel like reaching out to me will make them feel better, having a conversation will make both of us feel better, cool. My phone's always open.
Even though the situation was created by you, not them, yeah. Do you not feel like, okay, fellas, I went and did the work, not necessarily to get back together as a group because you guys were friends.
Yeah.
Let me share with you what I went through, to explain to where I was at that point, which is probably responsible for the actions I had at that point. Not so much to say, hey, can I get back in the group, but can we make this amends as people? Because they were affected by it too. BrockHampton as a group was being shitted on.
Right.
You know what I mean? So what are your thoughts to that?
My thoughts is, how do I put that? How do I put this? Rephrase the question for me one more time.
Let me break. You don't feel any responsibility to go back?
Oh, no. I feel responsibility for my actions.
Okay.
But like I said, we were living together. And I feel like you guys saw me. You knew what I went through. I've never lied about who I was. From saturation 1 all the way up to saturation 3. And up until now. Like, I'm still talking about the mistakes I've made and how I'm trying to move forward.
Okay.
You can listen to the Swamp verse or the Milk verse. My daddy taught me how to sell dope. Turn grams into elbows. Light it up when the L roll. Black mash to kick those. Wasn't no bullets in the guns, though. Niggas still never argued. Raid the house like the task force. Me and my niggas like drug dogs. Find the dope, then we take off. I fuck your girl with my chain on. Then she tatted my name on it. Yellowstone, I was raised on it. Activist in my baby bottle. Baby stroller was an Impala. Niggas like to talk down on me. When I see them, I don't hear about it. I've used my music to try and get that shit out, bro. I had nightmares and so much shit going on for all those years because I knew, like, I didn't have the best childhood. I didn't have all the resources I needed. I didn't have that shit. And I was just trying to make it work. I left the house at 17 trying to fucking make this shit work. And Ian and Romel moved into that house with me. So, like, they saw me going through this shit. Yeah. And I feel like, yeah, I take responsibility for my shit. I take responsibility for that. That's on me. But we were brothers, and, like, that means something to me. Like, I'm always going to love those dudes. I'm always going to respect them. But they made the choice to say, all right, you're gone. We're not going to sit with you and try to figure this out with you. You need to go and figure it out. So it's like, all right, you told me to go by myself. I'm going to do that. I'm going to work on myself by myself. You know what I mean? I think it would be a discredit to the work I've done to go back and try and mend those relationships when I was really just like, I didn't want to leave. I wanted to be there. I felt like it was a slap in the face for somebody to be like, you got to take a break. I was there from the day the group started. You know what I mean? And I felt like, yo, like, no, like, damn, like, no matter what I said or what I did, nobody was like, yo, we're going to try and work through this with you. Or we know who you are. We know who you are as a person, and we're going to try to move forward. I didn't felt like.
You felt abandoned?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You know, and you make reference to the Bible. You said carry a cross, something your mom said. It was something my grandmother said to me once. And she told me to picture that scene when Christ was carrying that cross all those miles. All those people sat and watched, but only one person stepped forward when he tripped and fell to help. Sometimes people can't help. They don't know how to help either, you know. So as you continue to heal and carry your cross, it may take some time, because I don't think Sway's even saying go run back. I don't know.
No, I'm just
but
saying.
sometimes, people
Yeah.
don't know how to help. They just sit and like, you bugging, bro.
Yeah.
You know, they
no.
go away from here because it's messing up this, and it's like only you could carry your cross. You know, they just don't know how to help sometimes. And so maybe one person might have said, yeah, you know, like you said, you text somebody recently. I'm happy that you're healing. You know, this is the first time I'm really hearing and understanding everything. I'm happy that you're healing, and continue to move forward. It's so real that you sitting here having this conversation with us like this, because more people need to be honest about that cross carrying. It's a rough road. And nobody will be there.
And they spitting on you at the same time, throwing rocks at them.
And sometimes people
Throwing
going
knives
through the
at 'em.
same exact thing you going through, but they just either afraid to say it, afraid to help, afraid to stand by you, because it's so much, you know. But thank you for sharing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Ameer Vann is here, man. No, you ain't leaving yet. Hold on.
Yeah, you ain't gotta get out. I'm just
I'm just trying to be gracious. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes.
Thank you.
You gotta put in some work this morning. You know, but go Tracy, go for it.
I looked at it as that was their form of help. That's the way that I received it. Like, it brought me back to when
It didn't feel that way.
Yeah, and I understand what you're saying, but the image that I thought of is when Kanye went up and, you know, the whole, you know, the Taylor Swift thing, and Mos Def told Kanye, you have to leave right now. You have to get out of the spotlight because you're going to be crucified. You know what I mean? And sometimes that distance is needed for healing, both publicly and internally. And I'm just wondering, because it was temporary and wasn't saying, yo, we want you out the group.
I think they were saying that, but we've been friends for a long time, so that was the way they put it. That's what it felt like when it's like, you tell me 5 minutes before I'm not performing, or 5 minutes before we perform, I'm not going on, and then come back and say, I think you need to go home and sit down.
Okay, that's different context.
Yeah, it's like it's like
5 minutes before.
Yeah, it's like, oh well, well, if that's the case, then I'll go. I'll just go.
But you got to consider the climate too.
Right.
Yeah, I do.
Man,
I understand.
It was
safety.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. I completely understand. Like, I get it. I get it.
Yeah.
But I'm a human being, and like, I got feelings, and that shit hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
In the song Pop Trunk, when you say I ain't no boy in no band, I am more than a man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, I mean, is that a shot?
No, absolutely not,
Okay.
dude. Nah, I'm the biggest BrockHampton fan ever.
Okay,
I
good.
love BrockHampton.
Good.
For
Okay.
sure.
Okay.
All right. Because you know people gonna run with that.
Nah, for sure. I see it. The people run with that shit. But I was just telling my story. I'm 23 years old, and I definitely don't look 23 or act 23.
Damn,
like,
you got a 33-year-old mustache.
Yeah. For real, yo. Like,
What the hell?
so that's just how I was feeling. You know what I mean? It's no shot. Like, yo, when I was in a boy band, I said I was in a boy band. I was the loudest one saying I'm in a fucking boy band. Like, I got no problem with that. But I'm not anymore.
Solo. Mike Muse, you got a question?
Yeah, man, I just salute you for being so vulnerable and raw today.
Thank
I
you.
think it's so hard for men, in particular black men,
Yeah.
to be this raw and to be this vulnerable. I think it's one thing for us to encourage us to go and get therapy and to seek professional help. It's another thing to go and check into a hospital.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about like the benefits of checking into the hospital and like how that helped you, particularly the benefits of that? For those who may be wondering, do they need help? Do they need to go to that level?
One, there were a lot of women there. My main therapist was a woman, and I needed that perspective really, really bad. I needed to sit down with someone and be like, yo, this is what happened to me. I need to know, like, how far gone am I? Like, how badly did I fuck up? And sitting in group therapy and talking with all these people and hearing what they had to say and hearing their experience and hearing how it was different from mine or maybe the same as mine, that was... I cherished that. Like that was priceless for me to sit down and just hear a different perspective. You know what I mean? Because it kind of made me feel like, all right, fuck, I'm not crazy. I'm not a monster. Like I made some mistakes. I did some shit wrong, but like I'm not the fucking boogeyman.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Ameer Vann is here, man. He has a powerful EP called Manual. In that particular song, which is the first song on the project, you released so much. Man, it's just like you was just a water faucet of, reality for yourself. It's hard to say I'm sorry. It's so hard to self-reflect, make the world a better place. I put a bullet in my head.
Yeah.
You had a lot of suicidal thoughts in this process.
That's why I went to the hospital.
Okay.
Yeah. When I first got back to Texas, I didn't eat, I didn't drink, I didn't sleep, and I lost like 15 pounds within like 4 days. I passed out in a parking lot. My mom picked me up and took me to see a psychiatrist, and that's how I got recommended to go to the hospital.
Wow. Okay. We're hearing a lot of that. We're losing a lot of folks to pharmaceutical.
I just was sad, yo. Like I couldn't. Like I just wanted to sit and just not be anymore. You know what I mean? It's not like I was like, oh, I'm trying to off myself. It was just the lowest I've been ever.
You say I am broken, I am tired, I am lonely and depressed, I am made up of mistakes. I started going down the list. I'm a product of my father. I'm an addict like my sister. I'm so sick, I need a doctor. Shit, man, this boy, he coming with it, man. yo, you putting all that truth on paper.
Yeah. My sister actually passed away while we were working on Puppy. Damn. She was an addict and she OD'd and she passed away. Wow. Yeah.
Woo! People are fragile, and
they
I'm telling you, only do you go through stuff do you recognize or even know how to begin and deal with people that's dealing with stuff. Otherwise, you just tell them to get the hell away from you because you don't want it around you. This is what happens.
So you're back now.
Yeah.
You're back in public eye, baby. Here we go.
Here
we go.
Yeah.
He's ready.
I cut my hair. I got a mustache back. Yeah.
Got the porn stash
I'm
going.
back.
Yeah, man.
It's a speed stash. It's a speed stash. I like cars.
Okay.
I like going fast. It's a speed stash. All right.
Okay. I was thinking of different.
Yeah. See, you on a whole different, on something different,
Don't
man.
make it sexual.
Yeah.
Are you about to tour?
Hopefully after this interview.
Okay, cool. Well, he's ready to tour. But are you prepared for the different reactions you're gonna get out there?
Yeah, dude. I've talked to my grandmother. I've had this conversation with my grandma and my mom and my aunts, and so I am so good.
Okay,
I can talk about this with anybody.
Okay,
that's why there's like 20 people. I didn't know there was actually gonna be 20 people in this room. I thought it was just gonna be us four. So that's why I'm still comfortable in front of all these people.
Yeah, we wanted to make it.
It's the universe.
Group there. You in Sway's universe, Ameer. Come on, man.
Now I get it. Now I get why it's Sway's universe. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
And we're part of your universe. I'm gonna play Emmanuel, and we're gonna come back and put you to work. No. Better yet, let's put him to work now, and we'll end with him, man.
All right. Okay.
You ready?
All right.
This dude, the thing I appreciate about
what
this.
What beat you got for me, though? What you got?
What you want?
What do I want? Shit, throw it on.
Throw something hard on. Oh.
Can you turn up the music in my ears?
Yeah, you go right there.
Okay.
You adjust the volume.
So I'm sitting here with Sway. Man, what a day. Man, they don't play. I don't give a fuck what the niggas gotta say. I'ma put it together. I'll change the weather. I could come down with the diamonds in my mouth, make it cold, make it snow. I just grew a fro and I shaved it right off. I don't give a damn, I'm about to go off. These niggas is soft, I don't give a damn about it. I'm sitting here with Heather B, and she used to rap with MOP. And I try to keep it together. I lost the flow a little bit, but it's some better weather. And I don't give a damn what these niggas gotta say. I am tethered to the money. I don't
Keep going, keep flowing, keep flowing. Ameer Vann, Emmanuel out now.
So I got another tape. It's another day. I got another way to make the bread, and I'm feeling the bread, and I'm shooting the lead. I don't give a fuck about what niggas gotta say about me. I'm trying to piece it together. I'm trying to get together, but I'm kinda anxious and I'm kinda nervous. Yeah, I'm kinda swerving. I don't give a damn about it. Yeah, I got the word. Oh my God! Yeah,
we got him warmed up now. We ain't did this in a minute. You got him warmed up now.
I'm the beast, I'm the devil, yeah, I smell of rose petals. I'm heavy with the metal, sign the deal and you just settle. I'm Muhammad Ali, Talib Kweli, Dalai Lama, smoking shaman. I'm a shaman, smoking blunts in the Bahamas. Still see coffins, still miss often, yeah, I smoke weed often. Heard this beat and I lost it, high from Cali to Boston. Fuck. I don't got no more boys. I didn't write nothing for this. I didn't write nothing for this. I'm sorry.
Man. That's your lyrical exercise, right? And you do not have to apologize. You came in here and you did it the hip hop way, the same way Mos Def and Talib Kweli did on the Wake Up Show in the 90s. Jay-Z. Nas.
Yo, you've done so many crazy freestyle interviews. Yo, I was losing my mind coming in.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
hell yeah. What?
Yo, next time right, motherfucker.
It's not a freestyle if you write.
I know, but it's you know, it's
Nah,
that definition.
Yo.
Okay, check it.
Nah, we not going. We can't
have that conversation.
You can't come. Nah, you can't come in here and. I just feel like you're gonna freestyle.
Okay.
People forgot what that meant. Like freestyle, nigga.
All right, shit.
Like yo, like how I'm gonna sit here and spit a written verse and like some other people are trying. It's not fair. Like yo, like niggas coming off the top of their head and then you coming in here with a written verse. Like, of course that shit sounded fire. You had it written.
Yeah. Okay, so that's an enthusiast right there. I don't mind a written verse as long as you give me a verse. You know, some dudes don't even want to rap, claim to be rappers. So
yeah, I don't know. I love rapping.
Go tell Sway I don't want to rap. And they passing messages. You know, Corey, can you believe the game now? Ameer, I want to say thank you. For sharing this because so many people are going to learn from it.
Hey, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me. Hey, you got bars. You do too, but you got bars for real on that joint with MOP. Like all your shit, the joint with MOP and all that shit, yo.
You want to put on your next project?
Yeah, I do actually, yo, for real.
Corey, let's make that happen, all right? We could do some interludes too. All right.
You see how Sway always working.
I gotta get on that one. Ameer, congratulations. I hope all works out. Things are working out for you. This is the part of the process.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, come back anytime.
Oh, man,
all right, keep us posted. We're gonna exchange information because we have to be mentors and peers to each other. I just learned from you, and then hopefully you can learn from us as well. Okay.
Well, I learned a lot from all y'all. I've been watching these interviews for a long time. So, you definitely have the answers, Sway.